So let me tell you why everyone should be social media chic. I'm going to get into that because, not just the facts, but it's more than facts about social media. So as far as, being social media chic, guys, you have got to start taking this seriously. You've got to start understanding that this is more again than the fad, because when I began my career online, I saw a lot of fads and trends and nothing that I felt was really going to move me forward, because a lot of the quote unquote gurus were marketing the flavor of the week. They were telling me, hey, I needed this product or I needed that software, some of which was really expensive. And I'll admit though, I did buy a few of the things, which some of it really didn't do me any good. And I'll tell you why. And it was really because I didn't have a plan for using them. And they didn't really have a plan for me using them. There was no complete blueprints. There was, hey, get this Twitter, well, it wasn't Twitter back then, but it was just get this, use this sales page formula. And if you use this formula, you'll make all this money. It was something like that. Now it's buy this Twitter software. This Twitter software will superpower your tweets and take them to the next level, or use this calling software. One of my best friends actually called me last week, and there are things about this all the time where she said, oh, well, it's a software out there that will make 750 calls for you. And I mean, it's always going to be something in every industry. It's always going to be something that I believe is more of a fad. It's something that's not, I always want you to figure out how you can do it first organically, how you can, be able to measure it yourself before you go ahead and buy this next big thing, this bright, shiny object. And that's what a lot of people are doing because they don't really know what to do. I went to an internet marketing conference years ago, and I started working with someone. He actually designed the cover of my book, but he was in partnership with a person, and the person, not to say anybody's name, but that person spent at one conference $10,000 just on products. And when I asked my colleague later on, a few months later, later that year, what happened to that guy, he said he pretty much went broke and went back to, his profession, because he really didn't know. He had more than everything in the world to make it online. A lot of people, that's what they want to do, the internet marketing. They want to make it online. They want to make big bucks online. And I think this guy had more than enough. But what he did was he went and, just spent money, besides really figuring out what was his system, what worked for him, what was his plan. And that's what a lot of people think. That's what I thought. I thought that if I just had a strategy here and a tool there, I could create the results. But that was my mistake. And that's, again, the mistake of so many others. And I realized, though, if I was to get anywhere, I would have to have, a solid foundation to build upon and to really keep me away from bright, shiny objects. I also realized, and this is for me, that there were a certain set of values I wanted to grow my business by. Really like keeping my passion to the forefront of my business and always being transparent with my audience. That was to be like my yardstick for providing a certain type of experience, for being a certain kind of person, and that you get that same consistent, person and experience every step of the way. My image, all that, just how I relay the information I put, the trainings I put out there. I just won't put anything out there, and I just won't attach my name to anything. So those values actually became my 10 visibility positioning principles, which I will be going into in another training. And in fact, if you follow me on SlideShare, I actually put the slides up already. I just haven't done the training in full. I've done the training for a couple of companies who had me on their training calls, but nothing, public, concrete, solid on out there. But those values, they became, again, my positioning principles, which I believe everybody should be utilizing or have their own positioning principles. Because we all know that one of the best ways to get the word out about who you are and what you do is by branding yourself online and tapping into the power of marketing. No matter what you're planning, no matter what you're selling or even launching. And I think that this is especially true if you're a service-based business or a brand. I believe that every business should have a foundation that supports their digital dreams and their objectives. And being social media chic will help you create that foundation for developing, for marketing, and even launching your business online, which is why everyone should be social media chic. Of course, that's in my humble opinion. But being social media chic is more than, it's more than like a little term, a little cute term. It means something to me. And when I'm done, I guarantee it will mean something to you as well. So I really want to go into what the social chic approach is.